Sports Medicine, especially since I've been a pro, has been a place where my game has really been able to develop in multiple facets. Injury prevention, maintenance, physical therapy, weightlifting, agility work, all the things that I need to do in order to have an NBA body. This is the place for me to go when I come back home and I need to get a workout in. Always welcome me back with open arms.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. They just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
My grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team. We're treating injuries when and where they happen, and working to prevent them before they do. We believe the best care is coordinated care, helping ensure you get the individualized services you need every step of the way, offering innovative treatment techniques to get you or the athlete you love back in play. Reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
Welcome in, everybody, to today's opening home game of the season for your University of St. Francis men's basketball team. National runner-up a year ago, currently ranked number 16 in the coach's preseason poll, coming in with a 1-1 record on the season and hosting the University of Michigan-Dearborn Wolverines. The Wolverines have a 1-2 record coming out of Dearborn, Michigan. We're going to read from our game day program put together by our sports information director, Bill Scott. It says, back at home for the first time since February, NAIA Division II 16th ranked University of St. Francis welcomes in Dearborn to the Hutzel Athletic Center tonight. The Wolverines will be the third consecutive member of the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference to challenge the Cougars. USF is the third consecutive Crossroads League challenger for the Wolverines, who are 1-1 against the CL after a 93-74 loss at number 1 ranked Indiana Wesleyan University on Saturday, November the 3rd. USF's Austin Compton had a 16-foot jumper from the left wing on Friday to give the Cougars a season-opening 111-109 overtime win over 5th-ranked Indiana Tech at the Cornerstone University Classic in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Compton scored 14 points in the second half and OT, helping the Cougars rally from a late first half 16-point deficit. It was the Warriors' third consecutive loss to start the season, all against Crossroads League competition. The Tech game was also the 105th meeting in the longest-running collegiate basketball series in Fort Wayne. Tech leads the series 64-41, and the two teams clash again on Saturday at 3 p.m. at Indiana Tech. University of Michigan-Dearborn opened the season with a 70-53 loss to Holy Cross out of Indiana. Then edged Goshen College 95-93 in overtime at Indiana Wesleyan on Friday night. NAIA preseason number 1 ranked Indiana Wesleyan handed UMD its second loss on Saturday, 93-74, despite 26 points from Ontario Burnett, who came off the bench to provide those 26 points. So once again, always exciting to get the season kicked off here at the Hut. Looking at the University of St. Francis, Connor Lotzenheiser leads the team in scoring, averaging 14 points per game. And he is second on the team in minutes played, averaging 30.5. Devin Tennant is scoring 14 points per game while shooting 55% from the field, and he's averaging 27 minutes played per game. Sophomore Hunter Hollowell is averaging 13 points per game. Hunter is shooting 50% from the field and 55% from beyond the arc, hitting 6 of 11 shots. He is averaging a team best 34 minutes played per game. Incoming transfer Jordan Matthews is averaging 11 points per game and 24 minutes played per game, while shooting 50% of the field on 8 of 16 shooting. Austin Compton's averaging 8.5 points per game and 28.5 minutes played per game, while Chandler White is averaging 8 points per game and 22 minutes played per game. White is shooting 70% from the field, hitting 7 of 10 shots. And rounding out the players in double-digit minutes played, it's Conlon Martin, who's averaging 14 minutes per game, hitting 4 of 7 from the field. He's also hitting 4 of 6 from beyond the arc, averaging 7 points per game. Conlon hit a buzzer-beating shot at the end of the first half against Indiana Tech as well. It was a beautiful half-court shot off the backboard. Excuse me, folks. Jalen Mall is also averaging 10 minutes played per game while averaging 2.5 points per game and shooting 40% from the field. So those are your leading scorers and leading players with minutes played so far on the season for St. Francis. Leading Dearborn in scoring is number 23, Mayfion Joyner, a senior from Battle Creek, Michigan. He's a Kellogg Community College transfer. He averages 32.7 minutes played per game and, once again, 16 points per game. Right behind him is number 11, Cody Kegler, a junior out of Yale, Michigan, who averages 15 points per game. Folks, we're going to send it down for our national anthem and the starting lineups for today's game.
Your University of St. Francis Cougars. This time, would you please rise for tonight's prayer and the national anthem. Let us pray. Loving Lord, we thank you for all you've given us to give to this day, these athletes, coaches, officials, and fans. Keep us all safe today, free from harm and injury. Help us to love and respect each other and ourselves. In the words of St. Francis, enlighten the darkness of our minds and hearts. Give us a right faith, a firm hope, and a perfect charity, so that we may always and in all things act accordingly to your holy will. Amen. Please remain standing for the national anthem of the Cougar family.
there you have it, folks. The starting lineups for today's matchup. Once again, it's Chandler White, Connor Lotzenheiser, Austin Compton, Hunter Hollowell, and Devin Tennant for your Cougars. And for UMD Wolverines, it's Fort Wayne's own Jalen Paul, Cody Kegler, Mafian Joyner, Matthew McNault, and number 24, Reed Sellers. Excuse me, not Reed Sellers down there. Mafian Joyner, Matt McNault, Cody Kegler, Ontario Burnett, and Jalen Paul. With the tip-off, it's going to be Devin Tennant and Matt McNault. Possession is going to go with the University of St. Francis. That's Austin Compton in the backcourt, bringing it up for your Cougs. Top of the key is Chandler White over to Hunter Hollowell and Connor Lotzenheiser. Lots of success with this unit last year, making it all the way to the NAIA championship game before falling to Indiana Wesleyan the second time in 3 years, falling to the Wildcats in the championship game. It'll be Lotzenheiser with the inbounds pass up to Tennant. Devin Tennant had a big game against Indiana Tech in game number 1 of the season. Nice feed down low to Compton for the first 2 points of the game for your University of St. Francis Cougars. In that game against Indiana Tech, and a nice play underneath as Hunter Hollowell comes with it. But once again, Devin Tennant had a team-high 23 points in that win for the Cougs. Compton out of the corner, feeds Tennant down low. Tennant was huge last year in the win here at the Hut against Bethel College. Nice rebound and putback by Chandler White. Chandler White, who's a transfer from the University of Toledo, is now in his 3rd year with St. Francis as a senior. He's the all-time leading scorer at Carroll High School here in Fort Wayne. That's a 4A program coached by Marty Beasley. Possession will stay with Dearborn. They also have the possession arrow on your scoreboard. With the inbounds pass, that is number 23, Mafian Joyner. Joyner once again leading the team, averaging 16 points per game. Strong take from the three-point stripe. That's Cody Kegler with his first 2 points of the game. And now a steal by Dearborn. Cougs lead it 4-2 early on as we're a minute and a half into the first home game of the season for St. Francis. Cougars next weekend will host the Northern Lakes Insurance Tournament. Nice fadeaway. Shot is no good by Ontario Burnett. The Cougars will host IU East, ranked number 2 in the country. IU East, folks, has already beat Indiana Wesleyan on the season. Wesleyan's got a 5-1 record. Their only loss coming to IU East. No over the back called there against Kegler on Chandler White. Aggressive play. That's Jalen Paul with the defense on Austin Compton. Kick out here on the near wing. Driving is White. Beautiful scoop shot, and it falls in for Chandler White, his second basket of the game. Chandler White nifty there around the rim. Once again, had surgery in the offseason here, so still getting back into shape is Chandler White. Three-point attempt is off the mark by Cody Kegler. And we're going to have a foul on the rebound. It's going to go against number 23 for Dearborn, Mafian Joyner. So for Joyner, that'll be his first and the team's first, as Compton slowly brings it up the floor. St. Francis, beautiful three-point shot is good by Chandler White. That's his 7th point of the game. So Chandler has 7 of the 9 points for St. Francis early on. White not doing a whole lot of scoring, and once again was nice block by White. Now in transition, looking to finish, goes straight to the cup. No foul called on the contact there by White. But it looks like we're going to have a timeout. No, excuse me, that's a foul called against St. Francis. That's going to go against number 13, Devin Tennant. That'll be his first and the team's first. So Jalen Paul will bring it up. Paul had a really good career at Canterbury High School and then finished off his senior season at Cherubusco High School, where his father got the head coaching job there with the Cherubusco Eagles. Foul's going to be called as driving to the cup there was Ontario Burnett. Foul's going to go against White. Burnett on the season is 2 of 5 from the free throw line, shooting 40% as he misses the first. Devin Tennant's going to check out. Into the game now is Jordan Matthews for St. Francis. Matthews is a 6'1", 205-pound guard from Dayton, Ohio. He's a transfer when he comes to St. Francis from South Suburban Junior College. 2 misses there for Burnett at the charity stripe. Matthews, left hand dribble drive. Feed goes down to White. Chandler posting up Jordan. Fadeaway baseline jumper is off the back rim. Rebounded by Joyner. Kegler's already got a 2-pointer in this game. Did miss on his 3-point attempt. White with the tight defense on Kegler. Kegler falling out of bounds, looking for the pass as it's stolen by Hunter Hollowell. Compton out down low to White. White 1-on-2 is going to be fouled from behind by Mafian Joyner. That's going to be his second foul. Excuse me, they're going to call that foul on Ontario Burnett. So a timeout's called. We're going to take one as well. You're watching Cougar basketball here from the Hutzel Athletic Center.
Grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
The Chapel Project is the most important building that has ever been built or ever will be built on this campus. It's in the heart of the campus, it's on Mirror Lake, and the chapel and the Bass Mansion will be able to communicate with each other architecturally.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hutzel Athletic Center. That is the Cougar Marching Pride. You're hearing the sounds of. How about Chandler White? Great start to this game for the senior. White goes 6'3", 210 pounds. Once again, this is the start of his 3rd season here at USF, his 1st season at the University of Toledo. So heading to the free throw line will be Jordan Matthews for the Cougars. Matthews entering today 5 of 6 from the free throw line, hitting 83% of his free throws. Misses the first. Second one no good as well. So Matthews, 2 rare misses at the charity stripe. 15:30 left to play here in the first half. That pass was intended for Joyner. So miscommunication there as that's a turnover by Dearborn. We do have live stats for today's game available for you. St. Francis currently shooting 57% from the field as Lotzenheiser gets fouled. That one's going to go against number 15, Matthew McNaught. He is a sophomore forward at 6'6". He's from Schwartz Creek, Michigan, New Lothrop High School. That'll be his first, team's fourth. Cougs now with one foul as Lotzenheiser hits the first of 2 free throws. Lotzenheiser, the team's leading scorer at 14 points a game, along with Devin Tennant. Comes into today's game hitting 6 of 9 free throws, a 67% free throw shooter. Lotzenheiser from Convoy, Ohio. Crestview High School was his high school. Been a starter ever since his freshman year. That's Jalen Paul being guarded by Lotzenheiser. Coming up with the pick there is number 24 for Dearborn. That is Zach Chichester. Good rebound by Chichester, and the putback rolls in. So a nice looking bucket there, as you can tell he's got touch around the rim. That's Jalen Mall for the Cougs back into the game for the first time today. Mall is a true freshman from Blackhawk Christian High School here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And a rebound for number 32, Jeffrey Reynolds, also a freshman from Greenwood, Indiana, as Matthews hits the jumper. For Jordan, that's his first 2 points of the game. Cougs up 13-4. Nice bounce pass in the lane. Strong off the glass was Zach Latimer. Lotzenheiser on the other end, fouled going up with the left hand. Foul's going to go against number 24, Zach Chichester. First one for Lotzenheiser is a miss. That's his first miss in this game. Now checking into the game is number 5, Brandon Johnson, another true freshman from Fort Wayne, Indiana, Northside High School. Brandon, his team went to the state championship game and lost to Ben Davis, not last season, but the season before in his junior year. Second one is good for Lotzenheiser. He now has 3 points, and that extends the Cougar lead to 10. Inbounds pass goes to Kegler. Cougars with some press in the backcourt. That's Jalen Mall. Mall considered one of the top point guards in the state a year ago. Jeffrey Reynolds, a freshman from Greenwood. You see him right there getting his hand on it with the steal. Reynolds, one of the most athletic players I've ever seen here at St. Francis. You should watch him dunk it, folks, as we're going to see it. Need to go up hard with that one. He's a freshman, but seriously, he is so much fun to watch dunk the ball. Rebounded by Johnson. Brandon's going to push it as Matthews to his right. Also in the game now is Conlon Martin. Conlon, a sophomore from Fort Wayne, Indiana, Bishop Dwenger High School. A lot of Fort Wayne players, rightfully so, on the squad for Coach Chad Lacrosse. Matthews for 3. That one left rims out. Rebounded by Joyner. 13 minutes left here in the first half. The home opener for the University of St. Francis Cougars, 2010 national champions. Long three-pointer is good for Jalen Paul. His first bucket of the game. Reynolds, top of the key, kicks out to Conlon Martin. Three-pointer, that's off the heel, no good. Nice save by Brandon Johnson in the Mall. Ball finds Reynolds, 15-foot jumper. Off the heel, no good. The Cougs are young, but already fun to watch. A lot of athleticism on the floor for St. Francis. Paul that time came up short with the triple. Johnson working off the pick by Reynolds. Matthew, left-handed take, pulls up from 10. No good. Paul with the rebound. Good movement over to Joyner for the Wolverines. Now down on the block, it's number 14, Latimer. And the bucket is good. Zach Latimer, his first 2 points of the game, as a foul is going to go against number 2, Jalen Mall. Now checking into the game is number 25, Reed Sellers. He's easy to spot with the long hair and the ponytail. Foul going to be called on Matthews. For Matthews, that'll be his first and the third foul for the Cougs. With the inbound pass is Kegler. Into Paul, and Mall has got the tight defense. Jalen Paul, Jalen Mall. Step back by Reed, that's short. Rebounded by Johnson. So Reed Sellers going to miss his first, Reed Sellers going to miss his first shot of the game. Turnover by St. Francis as Chandler White re-enters the game. Cougars 10-point lead, now cut to 7. Bounce pass, baseline jumper is no good for Kegler. Offensive rebound, Paul, nice kick out to the wide open number 14, Zach Latimer. Latimer now with 5 points in this game after hitting the triple. Pulls his team to within 4. It's like Austin Compton about to check back in for St. Francis. Cougs with the new unis, looking sharp, patterned after Kentucky. Conlon Martin, quick three-pointer. No good, that was rebounded by Kegler. Sellers out of the corner, no good. Tip out, goes right to Mall. See if Jalen goes straight to the cup. Nice extra pass. Brandon Johnson, that's a freshman to a freshman. Johnson's first 2 points of the game. Brandon Johnson played with Keon Brooks over there at Northside. Quite a duo. Along with Jalen Butts as well. That was 2 years ago when they played against Ben Davis in the state championship game and did lose. Butts is now at DePaul University in Chicago doing a great job. Foul's going to go against number 3, Conlon Martin. Coach Lacrosse playing a lot of players early on in this game. As the starters are going to go back in, Compton, Lotzenheiser, Hunter Hollowell, Devin Tennant, and Chandler White all back on the floor. Down low, turnaround, right-handed hook shot is good for Chichester, his second bucket of the game. White. Hunter Hollowell is a sharpshooter from beyond the arc. Look for him to shoot it, hopefully, often in this game. Foul going to be called off the ball down on the block. It's going to go against number 25 with the arm in the back, Reed Sellers. Sellers is a redshirt freshman, 6'10". He's the tallest player in this gym from Milford, Michigan. Bounce pass goes down to Devin Tennant. Tennant reverse lands, no good. Sellers with the board. Devin Tennant from Snyder High School here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Down low, right-handed hook shot is good by Chichester. What a beautiful looking hook shot for the freshman forward. Sellers nearly comes up with the steal. Lotzenheiser, that pass just a little bit off the mark. Might have been tipped by Chandler White. Latzenheiser goes up with the right hand, and it's good. Connor, his 5th point of the game. Cougs extend their lead to 4 points now, 18-14. Lady Cougars going to be in action tomorrow against Cornerstone. That's a 3 p.m. tip-off. You can watch it right here. The University of St. Francis, stfranciscougars.com, our YouTube channel and Facebook pages. Latzenheiser, triple try, knocks it down. Connor now with 8 points. Big time play there for the junior Latzenheiser. Cougs also got some nice looking sneakers. Got the Velcro strap right across the top of the foot. And foul going to be called. It looks like that one will go against Latzenheiser, number 11. And it does. For Connor, that's his first, team 6th. So to shoot 2 is Chichester. He already has 6 points in this game. First one is good. Entering today, Chichester's 2 of 4 from the free throw line, shooting 50%. Joyner back in, along with number 15, McNault for Dearborn. Cody Kegler also back into the game. Kegley, excuse me, it's Kegley. Nice tip to Compton. It's the second free throw's no good. 6-point ad for St. Francis. 21-15 your score. Another turnover for your Cougs. St. Francis now with 5 turnovers in this game. Dearborn with just 3. We got a timeout. We're watching Cougar basketball here. Hutzel Athletic Center.
Restriction training is a new treatment technique we're using at Parkview Sports Medicine that helps us stay on the cutting edge. This type of training is not only new to Parkview Sports Medicine, but in physical therapy as a whole. And it's really gaining popularity because it solves one of the fundamental problems that we see in therapy. We have a lot of patients who we can't put a lot of stress through their injured tissue, but we still want them to get stronger and still want them to gain muscle size. Blood flow restriction training uses a specialized piece of equipment, a blood flow restriction cuff that fits around the upper portion of an arm or a leg. Doing that, then it partially restricts, but not totally occludes the blood flow going to the limb.
I thought it was gonna hurt, and it does kind of feel weird, but doesn't hurt or anything. I just didn't really know what to expect. Well, you put it on and then you have to lay down and let it calibrate, and it like gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And then after that, get in your position to do your workout and then press the inflate button and it'll squeeze your leg or your arm.
What the research is telling us about training with blood flow restriction is that the buildup of the lactic acid and the metabolic stress that we're putting on these tissues helps you gain strength and muscle size, similar to that of training at high intensity.
Compared to like a normal workout, the burn comes like within the 3rd rep.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hutzel Athletic Center. Cougars up by 6, 21-15 with 7:45 left to play in the first. Austin Compton with the defense there on Kegley. Down low to Ontario Burnett. Burnett had it knocked away there for a second. 3-point attempt is up. And off the back rim, put back by Joyner is good. For Mafian Joyner, that's his first 2 points of the game. That's what Austin Compton does, lulling the defense to sleep. Compton now with 4 points. Austin Compton in high school had some battles with Yogi Farrell, the former point guard for Indiana University. Last I checked, he was with the Dallas Mavericks. And a beautiful save there by Kegley. Here on the near wing, that's Burnett. Now Joyner down low. Turn around off glass. Mafian Joyner. Joyner starting to heat up here, a second go around in the first half. Skip pass over to Latzenheiser. Down on the block is Devin Tennant. The feed goes into Tennant. Nice Pass to the wide open Lotzenheiser for three. Lotzenheiser on fire. Now with 11 points. Burnett's just a freshman at 6'5" from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Went to Kalamazoo Central High School. Burnett's going to be fouled. He will head to the free throw line here for the 1-and-1. Burnett already 0 of 2 from the charity stripe. Once again, folks, entering today's game, Burnett just a 40% shooter. Jordan Matthews checking back in for St. Francis. Also in for the Cougs, number 33, David Miller. 6'5", 205 pounds from White Pigeon, Michigan. He's a transfer from Glen Oaks Community College. Junior college. That one off the heel. So Ontario Burnett is now 0 of 3 from the free throw line. Hunter Hollowell for three, knocks it down from long range. Go over some of the stats here for you. St. Francis currently 10 of 21 shooting for the field, 48%. 4 of 9 now from beyond the arc. 3 of 6 from the free throw line. St. Francis out rebounding Dearborn 16 to 13. Cougs with 5 assists and 2 assists for the Wolverines. UMD with 3 steals, St. Francis with 1. Dearborn shooting 35% from the field on 8 of 23 shooting. 2 of 8 from beyond the arc, 25%. And 1 of 6 from the free throw line. University of Michigan-Dearborn just shooting 17% from the charity stripe. St. Francis does have 2 blocks in this game. Check out this one here by Chandler White. See Hunter Hollowell and Chandler White with the help defense. Boom, get it out of here. Most recently, you heard me just say Hunter Hollowell's name. Watch what Hunter does. Sophomore from Huntington, North Indiana, to catch and shoot from long range. That's Hunter Hollowell with the triple. Good times here at the HUD. St. Francis up by 10 once again, matching its largest lead of the game. So with the inbounds pass, it will be number 15. Matthew McNall. Kegley bringing it up for the Wolverine. Good defense by Jordan Matthews. Lotzenheiser. Tight D there on Burnett. Cougs in his own defense currently as Burnett finds the opening there. That's going to be his first 2 points. He is 0 of 3 from the free throw line. Now down low. Getting fouled is number 33, David Miller. Foul is going to be called against number 24, Zach Chichester. For Chichester, that will be his second. Team 6. As that one rips in for David Miller. For Miller, that's his first free throw attempt on the season, and it's a good one. Connor Lotzenheiser currently leads all scorers with 11 points. And how about the freshman, Brandon Johnson, leading the Cougs with 4 rebounds. Mafian Joyner leads all players with 6 rebounds. Kegley leads all players with 2 assists. So Miller hits both free throws for his 2 points. Nice find by Jordan Matthews. Lotzenheiser back to Hollowell. As it rims in, Hunter Hollowell back-to-back three-pointers. Nice step back there by Hunter Hollowell to get the open space for his second triple. That's going to help the percentage as he's on fire from downtown. Jalen Paul. Pump fake, and the jump shot, no good. And over the back is going to be called there on Compton. He's looking for a jump ball. So heading to the free throw line is number 11, Cody Kegley. Kegley, this will be his first free throw attempt in this game, and it's good. Entering today, Kegley has hit 23 of 27 free throws, 85%. Second one for Kegley is good as well. He now has 4 points. Compton skip pass over Lotzenheiser. Looks like we got a 3-2 zone here. It's morphing to a 2-3. The zone defense being played by the Wolverines. Jump stop in the lane, no good for Lotzenheiser. Kegley bringing it up for the Wolverine. Back out, Jalen Paul already has 1 3-pointer. That's number 2. Paul with his 6th point. Feed for Miller. And let's see what the call is going to be here. Goes against David Miller, the charge. Jalen Mall set to check back in for St. Francis. Ball coming in for Compton. Paul at the timeline being guarded by Maul. Maul doing a great job of staying in front of him, showing off the quicks. No travel called on McNault, but the 3-pointer is good. Kegley, his first 3-pointer of the game. He now has 7 points. Matthews, left-hand dribble drive, pulls up in the lane. He's fouled, and the bucket's good. Matthews looking for the and one. Jordan Matthews has really impressed the coaches early on to start this season. He does have 4 points and has played a lot of minutes for your Cougs. White into the game for Lotzenheiser. Manager Wesley Davenport had his knee wrapped up before the game. Had to ice his knee in preparation for this one. 5th point there for Matthews. Wes also got his back brace on, so he's been busy with Cougar Volleyball, the Crossroads League co-champions with Marion. And Cougar Volleyball will take on Indiana Wesleyan tomorrow with a 7 p.m. tip. Or excuse me, 7 p.m. start time. That is the semifinal round of the Crossroads League tournament. Quick feet for number 14, Zach Latimer with the travel. That'll be the 4th turnover of the game for UMD. UMD has hit 4 threes, good for 36% from beyond the arc in this game. Cougs shooting 50%. Long range, Hunter Hollowell knocking him down left and right. He's a sharp shooter. Another turnover by UMD. St. Francis going to go on the road after this one. Wednesday they'll take on Ohio Christian, but we got a timeout, and we're going to take one as well. You're watching Cougar basketball here on the campus of St. Francis.
the first time I've been able to do this kind of more complete understanding or view of your body. One of the things that's really important about this is that it's kind of legitimizing us as athletes.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
My grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
Welcome back, everybody. Steal and layup is good for number 11, Cody Kegley. How about Hunter Hollowell now 3 of 5 from beyond the arc. Left-handed take by Jalen Ball, doing a good job of shielding the defender with his body there. Foul going to be called, I believe, against UMD as the refs chatted over. Did you see what I see? I don't think they did. Foul's going to go against David Miller with the push in the back. Miller, that's his second, team's 10th. Jeffrey Reynolds set to check back in. Jeffrey Reynolds, the high flyer. Folks, you got to watch the Cougar intro video. It's on our YouTube page and on USF Men's Basketball Facebook fan page as the free throw is up and in by Kegley. Kegley is now 3 of 3. But you can see some fine dunks by the freshman, Jeffrey Reynolds. Second free throw is good as well. Ball working against Paul. Switches to the left. Ball had no problem flying right past him. Hunter's step back 14-footer is short. Rebounded by Burnett. Ontario over the timeline. We have many Cougar football players in attendance. USF football team now ranked number 8, the back-to-back national champions, will be hosting a first-round playoff game on November the 17th. Always a good time at Bishop Darcy Stadium with head coach Kevin Donnelly, who just picked up win number 324, passing Bear Bryant on the all-time career wins list. Wow, what an accomplishment for Kevin Donnelly in his 21st season here at St. Francis. Coach Donnelly has a career winning percentage of 74%. Nice turnaround hook shot by Jordan Matthews. He is awesome. Matthews now with 7. 41-33 is your score. Paul working against Maul. Behind the back, nice find. Burnett with the extra dribble gets the reverse lay-in. For Ontario, he now has 4 points in this game. UMD out of the WAC conference, Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference. Kind of funny that they call it the Wolverine Hoosier because there's only one team from Indiana in the conference, and that's Indiana Tech. I believe they have 2 teams out of Ohio, so maybe it should be the Wolverine Buckeye Conference, but I don't think fans from Ohio or Michigan would like that combo. Quick jump shot is good by Joyner. Joyner 6 point. We have about 4-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Taylor Langley, he's out of Macomb, Illinois, is in his 5th season with Dearborn. I believe the athletic department is only 5 years old as well at UMD. At least the basketball team. Matthews! 2.9 seconds left as Matthews could not hit the triple at the buzzer. Matthews entering today hitting 33% from beyond the arc, 1 of 3 entering tonight's game. They're going to call that a shot clock violation, so that's not good. We got the Cougar cornerback sitting in the first 2 rows of the bleachers over there. And on your screen, that's Stan Jackson and Ryan Johnson. A potent duo along with Wilmer Cole. They probably make up the best cornerbacks in the NAIA. Wilmer Cole already has 3 interceptions returned for a touchdown this year, and he also ran back a 2-point conversion after a blocked PAT attempt against Siena Heights. It was an extremely huge play as the Cougs ended up getting that victory against the Saints, who are out of the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference for basketball. 4.5 seconds on the clock now as they added 2 more. Kegley weaving through the Cougs. Too late on the find in the corner. That will do it. St. Francis up 41-37 as we head into the break. We're going to take a break here in the booth. And we'll be right back with you with some more Cougar basketball after this 6-minute, 30-second break.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
The Chapel Project is the most important building that has ever been built or ever will be built on this campus. It's in the heart of the campus, it's on Mirror Lake, and the chapel and the Bass Mansion will be able to communicate with each other architecturally.
Sports medicine, especially since I've been a pro, has been a place where my game has really been able to develop in multiple facets. Injury prevention, maintenance, physical therapy, weightlifting, agility work, all the things that I need to do in order to have an NBA body. This is the place for me to go when I come back home and I need to get a workout in. Always welcome me back with open arms.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team. We're treating injuries when and where they happen, and working to prevent them before they do. We believe the best care is coordinated care, helping ensure you get the individualized services you need every step of the way, offering innovative treatment techniques to get you or the athlete you love back in play. Reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. They just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team.
I mean, I always had my family behind me, I always had my team behind me, but to have staff that wanted the best for me and to get me feeling better the quickest was really reassuring.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Blood flow restriction training is a new treatment technique we're using at Parkview Sports Medicine that helps us stay on the cutting edge. This type of training is not only new to Parkview Sports Medicine, but in physical therapy as a whole. And it's really gaining popularity because it solves one of the fundamental problems that we see in therapy. We have a lot of patients who we can't put a lot of stress through their injured tissue, but we still want them to get stronger and still want them to gain muscle size. Blood flow restriction training uses a specialized piece of equipment, a blood flow restriction cuff that fits around the upper portion of an arm or a leg. Doing that, then it partially restricts, but not totally occludes the blood flow going to the limb.
I thought it was gonna hurt, and it does kind of feel weird, but doesn't hurt or anything. I just didn't really know what to expect. Well, you put it on and then you have to lay down and let it calibrate, and it like gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And then after that, get in your position to do your workout and then press the inflate button and it'll squeeze your leg or your arm.
What the research is telling us about training with blood flow restriction is that the buildup of the lactic acid and the metabolic stress that we're putting on these tissues helps you gain strength and muscle size, similar to that of training at high intensity.
Compared to like a normal workout, the burn comes like within the third rep, and then the 30-second break in between, there's no like recovery. I can see the difference and feel the difference. It feels a lot more effective than just doing normal exercises.
Blood flow restriction training is the perfect tool to solve that fundamental problem. But this is something that you don't see everywhere, and you don't see very many places in Indiana at all.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
My grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
This is the first time I've been able to do this kind of more complete understanding or view of your body. One of the things that's really important about this is that it's kind of legitimizing us as athletes.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Restriction training is a new treatment technique we're using at Parkview Sports Medicine that helps us stay on the cutting edge. This type of training is not only new to Parkview Sports Medicine, but in physical therapy as a whole. And it's really gaining popularity because it solves one of the fundamental problems that we see in therapy. We have a lot of patients who we can't put a lot of stress through their injured tissue, but we still want them to get stronger and still want them to gain muscle size. Blood flow restriction training uses a specialized piece of equipment, a blood flow restriction cuff that fits around the upper portion of an arm or a leg. Doing that, then it partially restricts, but not totally occludes the blood flow going to the limb.
I thought it was gonna hurt, and it does kind of feel weird, but doesn't hurt or anything. I just didn't really know what to expect. Well, you put it on and then you have to lay down and let it calibrate, and it like gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And then after that, get in your position to do your workout and then press the inflate button and it'll squeeze your leg or your arm.
What the research is telling us about training with blood flow restriction is that the buildup of the lactic acid and the metabolic stress that we're putting on these tissues helps you gain strength and muscle size, similar to that of training at high intensity.
Compared to like a normal workout, the burn comes like within the third rep, and then the 30-second break in between, there's no like recovery. I can see the difference and feel the difference. It feels a lot more effective than just doing normal exercises.
blood flow restriction training is the perfect tool to solve that fundamental problem. But this is something that you don't see everywhere, and you don't see very many places in Indiana at all.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hutzel Athletic Center, where we got the kids getting ready for their future at USF to play some basketball, that's for sure. Good form there for the little guy. We're going to go over some of the scoring here. Starting with St. Francis, leading the Cougars in points scored is Connor Lotzenheiser. Lotzenheiser with 11 points was 3 of 4 from the field, 2 of 2 from beyond the arc, 3 of 4 from the free throw line with 1 rebound, 1 foul in 12 minutes played. Chandler White had 7 points. He was 3 of 6 from the field, 1 of 1 from beyond the arc, 3 rebounds, 1 foul, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 1 block for big Chandler White. The junior Jordan Matthews, 3 of 6 from the field, 0 of 2 from beyond the arc, 1 of 3 from the free throw line. He had 2 rebounds, 7 points, 1 foul in 12 minutes played. Austin Compton, 2 of 2 from the field with 1 rebound, 4 points, 1 assist in 10 minutes played. Hunter Hollowell, 3 of 6 from the field, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc, 1 rebound, 9 points, 1 assist, 1 steal in 15 and a half minutes played for Hunter Hollowell. And Brandon Johnson, 1 of 1 from the field, 4 rebounds. His 4 rebounds is a team high, and 2 points in 4 minutes played for Brandon Johnson. Cougars shooting 48% from the field on 15 of 31 shooting, 6 of 12 from beyond the arc, shooting 50%, and 5 of 8 from the charity stripe, shooting 63%. For UMD, Jalen Paul was 2 of 4 from the field, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc. With 1 rebound, he had 6 points, 2 assists, 1 steal in 17 minutes played. Jalen Paul playing the second most minutes of all players in this game. Ontario Burnett was 2 of 4 from the field, 0 of 1 from beyond the arc, 0 of 4 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds, 4 points, 2 turnovers in 14 minutes played. Cody Kegley was 3 of 6 from the field, 1 of 2 from beyond the arc, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds, 11 points, 4 assists, 1 steal, and Kegley led all players with 18 minutes and 22 seconds played. Mafian Joyner was 3 of 7 from the field, 0 of 2 from beyond the arc, 7 rebounds, 6 points, 1 turnover, 1 steal in 16 minutes played. Zach Latimer, 1 of 2 from the field, 1 of 1 from beyond the arc, 1 rebound, 3 points, 1 turnover in 11 minutes. How about Reed Sellers? Reed was 3 of 4 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 1 rebound, 7 points, 1 steal in 9 minutes played. UMD shot 44% from the field on 14 of 32 shooting, 4 of 12 from beyond the arc, 33%, and 5 of 10 from the free throw line, 50%. Points off turnovers, UMD had 12, St. Francis 8. UMD 16 points in the paint, 8 for St. Francis, 7 second chance points, 4 for St. Francis, and both teams with 10 points off the bench. UMD's last field goal came with 36 seconds left. St. Francis at 1 minute and 34. St. Francis has led the whole way with a 12-point lead being their best. So there you have it, folks. We got ourselves a game here, the opening game of the season for your Cougs. We're going to take one more break before second half action here from the Hutzel Athletic Center.
Grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
The Chapel Project is the most important building that has ever been built or ever will be built on this campus. It's in the heart of the campus, it's on Mirror Lake, and the chapel and the Bass Mansion will be able to communicate with each other architecturally.
Welcome back to the Hutzel Athletic Center, just 20 seconds away from the start of the second half. It's been a great start here for the Cougs, such a young team. St. Francis once again winning game number 1 of the season, 111-109 against number 5 Indiana Tech in overtime, but did lose at number 7 Cornerstone a day later, 81-59. And a steal by Devin Tennant to start the second half as the lay-in is no good. Kegley has Joyner in the corner. A 4-point lead here, and the possession arrow in favor of UMD. I think that needs to be switched. Baseline by Ontario Burnett. No good, gets his own rebound. Nearly stolen by Chandler White. Paul for 3. That one rims out. Rebounded by Kegley. Another offensive board here by UMD. Their second in this possession. Coach Lacrosse not going to be happy here as Jeffrey Reynolds is going to have to come into this game for Chandler White. UMD just went from 4 offensive rebounds to 6. So we're almost a minute into the second half here. Hollowell over to Reynolds. Boy, I'd like to see Jeffrey just drive it from the wing and throw it down because you know he can do it. Hunter Hollowell has it knocked away by Joyner. Reynolds in the lane has it blocked. Picked up by number 15, McNault. Joyner not too happy. I think he was expecting some motion there as he got a little bit clogged up there in the driving lane. Kegley, nice find, the wraparound pass to number 15, McNault, for 2. For Matthew McNault, that's his first 2 points of the game, and that was a beautiful pass by Kegley, who leads all players now in assists. Lotzenheiser off the mark. Kegley now with 5 assists in this game. Long 3-pointer by Kegley. No good. Rebounded by Reynolds. Compton, beautiful pass to Connor Lotzenheiser, now with 13 points. That's what's up right there. Austin Compton, a magician with the ball in his hands. Last year, he had an assist to Bryce Linup in the national tournament. It was off the backboard. It looked like he was going up for a layup, but he actually threw it off the backboard to Lotzenheiser. It was awesome. Folks, Will Chrisman's in the background there in the blue sweatshirt. He plays for the football team. He's a 6'7" wide receiver, but he will be joining the basketball team after the football season. Will Chrisman was an absolute stud at DeKalb High School playing for the Barons. Yes, he was. We're going to have this replay for you here in a little bit. Compton to Lotzenheiser, a thing of beauty. Compton has Reynolds on the baseline, but Jeffrey stepped on the baseline. Check that out. What a find to Connor Lotzenheiser. Loving it all day. Compton is worth the price of admission, folks. And what do we got going on here? It's going to be Lotzenheiser with the inbounds pass. 17-19 left to play here in regulation. Compton. Handoff goes to Connor. Backing down Jalen Paul with no problem. That's a big mismatch there. The big junior Connor Lotzenheiser from Convoy, Ohio. Crestview High School, where he won a state championship. He is a local hero in Convoy, Ohio. That's where Corey Lichtensteiner is from, the longtime offensive lineman for the Washington Redskins. He, too, is a local, well, heck, he's a state of Ohio legend. Travel, turnover by Jalen Paul. That'll be the 7th turnover for UMD. That'll match St. Francis's 7. Tennant and Matthews. Well, Matthews back in the game for Tennant. My name is Jeff Mahoney, bringing you the play-by-play. And Lucy Wainwright is on camera doing a spectacular job in her first ever basketball game being shot for St. Francis. Matthews with the scoop shot. Jordan Matthews now with 9 points for the Cougs, the junior. Joyner working against Lotzenheiser. Lotzenheiser can muscle him up, but Joyner does get the bucket. 8 points now for Mafian Joyner. Hollowell looking down low to Reynolds, has it knocked away. We're going to have 13 seconds left on the shot clock. Officials timeout here as we have a media timeout at 15:57. You're watching Cougar basketball here from the Hutzel Athletic Center.
Grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
The Chapel Project is the most important building that has ever been built or ever will be built on this campus. It's in the heart of the campus, it's on Mirror Lake, and the chapel and the Bass Mansion will be able to communicate with each other architecturally.
Welcome back, everybody. Once again, I think what we're going to have to do is show you another replay of Austin Compton to Connor Lotzenheiser once this highlight gets posted, and it's done. But in transition, goes in the lane, and the no-look find there. Lotzenheiser never broke stride. You're going to see Austin Compton with a lot of highlight plays like that this year, as he is a highlight machine. Last year, an opposing coach at the national tournament called Compton a scrub. Compton heard him say that and ended up tearing up the team. I believe that was Kaiser University. So watch what you say when number 31's on the floor. He's no scrub. Matthews for three. At the buzzer, no good. That's rebounded by Burnett. Compton is flat out a Hoosier basketball player. I mean, he epitomizes Indiana basketball, which is how tough he is and how savvy he is with the basketball in his hand. Down low, Burnett. It's good. Burnett now has 6 points. That's his first bucket in the second half. Rocky James in attendance, the star wide receiver for the Cougar football team. Rocky, his freshman year, beat Kendon Lewis in the dunk competition. That's no easy task, as Kendon Lewis was known as the best dunker in Fort Wayne. Rocky James in that dunk contest jumped over Ryan Johnson and dunked it behind his head. It was just ridiculous. He's a star basketball player at Xenia High School in Xenia, Ohio. Austin Compton now at the free throw line for the Cougs. This will be his first free throw attempt of the game, and it's no good. Austin entering today a perfect 7 of 7 from the charity stripe, so that one stings just a little bit more. But he will rebound on this next one. Will Compton looking for his 5th point, and he's got it. .14:50 left to play in regulation. That ball goes right through the hands of Kegley. Saved right to the Cougs. Matthews jump stop in the lane. Off glass. Can of corn for Jordan Matthews now with 11. Paul being hassled in the backcourt as Joyner nonchalantly gets over the timeline. Long three-pointer by Mafian Joyner is good. He's got 11 points. He's the team's leading scorer entering today's game, averaging 16 points per. Jeffrey Reynolds down low. Reynolds just went a little bit too deep there. He had to come out from behind the backboard. Kegley, no good. Compton's tip went off Lotzenheiser and back to Kegley. Travel for Paul. That's another turnover for number 4. Jalen Paul, the sophomore guard, a transfer from Trine University. Trine, a D3 school out of Angola, Indiana. That's where all the lakes are located, most notably Lake James. Probably the second most popular lake in the northern part of Indiana, right behind Lake Wawasee. That's where Lloyd Ball has his cottage, along with Brian Cardinal. Brian Cardinal won a NBA national title with the Dallas Mavericks. And Lloyd Ball is the only U.S. volleyball player ever to play in 4 Olympics. Lloyd Ball. Antoine Cushenberry's into the match, number 20. He played for the undefeated state champion Dub C Warren Central a year ago. Matthews, no good. Rebounded by Tennant as he's fouled. No jump ball there. That's going to be called against number 23, Joyner. For Mafian, that will be his 3rd foul, team's 3rd. Devin at the free throw line, 4 of 6 entering today, shooting 67%. First one, up and in. For Devin, that's his first point of the game. Extends the Cougars' lead to 3 at 49-46 as Burnett leaves the floor. Into the game is Reed Sellers with the ponytail and headband. Devin Tennant hits them both. He's now got 2 points. Bring back the natural sound. Sorry about that. 13:22 left to play. Chichester with the ball being guarded by Tennant. Tennant's got the size advantage on Chichester. Looks like he's got about 40 pounds on him. Chichester is only listed at 6'7", but looks like he goes about maybe 170. Yeah, probably about 170. Cushenberry with the ball. Antoine with the lob down low. Nice extra pass to Matthews. Over to Conlon Martin for 3. No good. That's rebounded by Miller, who's going to be fouled. Foul's going to go against Kegley, his first. Cody Kegley, the junior at 6'1". Martin with the inbounds pass finds Matthews. Defense quickly converges, but Matthews sticks with the dribble. And out of bounds by Joyner. That's going to be a fresh 30 on the shot clock for your Cougs. Steal by Sellers. On the other end, big block by Miller. UMD fans are not happy with the no call. Cushenberry. Antoine goes back. Tennant down low. Lost it for a second, and I think that ball was touched by Kegley out of bounds. So shot clock's at 14, and with the inbound will be Conlon Martin. Matthews going to be called for charge. UMD coach Taylor Langley is stoked about that call. Lotzenheiser back into the game as Matthews takes a breather. Paul over the timeline. Kegley. Chichester has it stolen by Miller. Miller looking to go coast to coast. And will finish with the lay-in. David Miller. Kegley. A nice charge taken there by Tennant as Sellers gets it back, rises up for three, and knocks it down. They're going to call that a 2 with a foot on the line. Miller now has 4 points for St. Francis. Let's check out that play by David Miller one more time. Cougars playing some tight defense. Lotzenheiser comes out on the perimeter. Here comes Miller to swipe it from behind. Now in transition, goes to the right hand and off glass. David Miller getting it done for the Cougars. 4 points. We got Miller with 3 points on the board. Pretty sure he was 2-2 from the free throw line. No, he only had 1 free throw. I'm wrong. They're right. He's got 3. Nonetheless, that's his first bucket from the field, as he's a perfect 1 of 1 from the field. (52-48) is your score. Miller's pass is stolen by Sellers. Sellers doesn't get that many minutes played, but man, is he productive when he's on the floor for UMD. Sellers, a redshirt freshman. The tip by Chichester is no good. I think they're going to call a foul on Tennant. Devin, that'll be his 4th foul. Inbounds pass to Kegley. There's one thing we've learned in this game is that Kegley can fill it up. He's got 13. Pulls his team to within 2. Hunter Hollowell, triple, knocks it down. His 4th of the game. It's a good looking hero shot by our filmer Lucy Wainwright. Hunter will appreciate that one. Kara Gurka in the background there. girls basketball player right there on the right-hand side of your screen. Kara was an All-American last year as a freshman and was the Crossroads League Freshman of the Year 2 years ago, her freshman year. She's pretty good. Joyner with the inbounds. Hall. Now a foul's called on Hunter Hollowell. For Hunter, that'll be his first. Lob down low goes to Joyner. Left hand, no good. Gets his own rebound. Man, UMD is killing it with these offensive boards. That's their 9th. St. Francis has 4. Now UMD's out rebounding the Cougs, 27-25. They definitely hold a height advantage, though. Joyner's not happy that he missed that bunny. Now goes up with the left and does finish. Mafian Joyner. That is his 7th point in this half, his 13th overall. Travel this time called on Miller. Cougs' 13th turnover of the game. St. Francis with 3 players in double-digit scoring. Lotzenheiser 13, Matthews 11, Hollowell with 12. Hunter has all triples. Jumpers up and in for Joyner. Joyner's starting to feel it here in the second half. We'll get you his field goal percentage in a second. UMD now shooting over 44% in the first half, or second half. Well, for the game, I should say. Lotzenheiser is looking for the and one there. No call. He's got 15. Cougs have a 3-point lead. That's who you go to when you need a bucket. He's going to be the go-to player this year for St. Francis. Hunter Hollowell. Or I mean, Connor Lotzenheiser. Actually, both of them. Burnett's back into the game. Ontario's from Kalamazoo. It's like in Forrest Gump. That's Dallas from Cleveland. Quick shot by Joyner. Left rim's no good. Rebounded by Lotzenheiser. Right-handed shot. Matthews with the putback. Bucket is good. It's going to go to the free throw line. Looking for the and one, Jordan Matthews. That's the way you follow right there for Matthews. He's got 6 points here in the second half, 13 in the game. He's currently 1 of 3 from the charity stripe. See how this one goes down. It does not, but rebounded by Lotzenheiser. Nice to see an offensive board here for the Cougs. Nice take in the lane, kick out to Compton. Lotzenheiser. Good ball movement. Brandon Johnson left open, but a beautiful find to Austin Compton underneath. Lots of good stuff going on here in the hut. Compton now has 7. Cougs extend their lead to 7. Near wing. Ball goes down to Ontario, reverse lay-in. Burnett now has 8 points, 4 in the first, 4 in the second. Matthews, strong take. Matthews has been huge for the Cougs here in the second half, now with 15. Kegley doing a good job keeping his pivot foot. That's his second basket of the second half. Cougs quickly going down the floor. Hollowell's calling for it, but Lotzenheiser's wide open and knocks it down out of the corner. Lotzenheiser now the game high 18. Paul being guarded by Compton. Burnett picked up by Hollowell. Cougs in a zone defense here. Is that one halfway down for Jalen Paul? No good. Foul going to go against UMD with the hook. The hook gets called on Kegley. Timeout, UMD. We're taking a break. We're watching Cougar basketball from the hut.
Restriction training is a new treatment technique we're using at Parkview Sports Medicine that helps us stay on the cutting edge. This type of training is not only new to Parkview Sports Medicine, but in physical therapy as a whole. And it's really gaining popularity because it solves one of the fundamental problems that we see in therapy. We have a lot of patients who we can't put a lot of stress through their injured tissue, but we still want them to get stronger and still want them to gain muscle size. Blood flow restriction training uses a specialized piece of equipment, a blood flow restriction cuff that fits around the upper portion of an arm or a leg. Doing that, then it partially restricts, but not totally occludes the blood flow going to the limb.
I thought it was gonna hurt, and it does kind of feel weird, but doesn't hurt or anything. I just didn't really know what to expect. Well, you put it on and then you have to lay down and let it calibrate, and it like gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And then after that, get in your position to do your workout and then press the inflate button and it'll squeeze your leg or your arm.
What the research is telling us about training with blood flow restriction is that the buildup of the lactic acid and the metabolic stress that we're putting on these tissues helps you gain strength and muscle size, similar to that of training at high intensity.
Compared to like a normal workout, the burn comes like within the third rep, and then the 30-second break in between, there's no like recovery. I can see the difference and feel the difference. It feels a lot more effective than.
All right, everybody. You'll want to make sure that you follow us on Twitter at SF Cougars so you can see all these highlights I'm posting. You can also like our Facebook page, USF Men's Basketball. You can see the highlights on that page as well. Share them with your friends, retweet them, all that good stuff. Johnson for three. Brandon off the mark. Compton steps on the baseline. About to tweet out this Hunter Hollowell triple. He's got 4 of them. Already shared 2 of them in the first half. Hunter Hollowell in fuego from beyond the arc. Hunter, just in this game alone, let's find him, 4 of 6 from three-point land. With 1 second on the shot clock, Burnett no good. And we got some roughhousing going on down the block. We're going to give the foul to Trente Uno, Austin Compton. For Compton, that'll be his second foul. That's number 31. Free throw attempt here by number 15. Front end, no good, rebounded by Matthews, so McNault cannot convert. Hunter off the heel, no good. Johnson with the board. Compton, nice crossover. Gets it over to Matthews. Spin move, high off glass. Kegley comes down with the board. Coach Lacrosse not liking the shot there by Matthews. Triple try is long. Rebounded by Matthews. That's how you get back on Coach's good side. And the outlet pass to Johnson as he is he was really groped down there on the block. How he could say where was the foul is beyond me. You guys want to watch that one again? I'll show you. That was a foul and a half as Brandon Johnson heads to the free throw. Well, never mind. Oh, they're going to call it technical fouls, what he didn't like. Johnson, first one's up and in. Good job by Brandon converting there. Getting her done from the charity stripe. Second one, rim's no good. For Brandon Johnson, his 3 points, that's the first 3 points on the season. That first bucket was a dandy, taking the pass from Jalen Mall, the freshman to freshman, both from Fort Wayne, Indiana. 67-58, 9-point ad for St. Francis, 5:27 left to play. Mall, three-pointer, left short. Joyner with the board. Joyner's tights have the yellow M on the side. They're pretty sharp, actually. I'm not really feeling the shorts, though, with the diamond. A lot going on with that diamond and M. Nice block by Johnson. Nearly came up with the steal as well, rebounded by Lotzenheiser. Now in transition, Lotzenheiser with the finish. Finger roll by Connor. Looking good. He now has 20. And he is the game's leading scorer, is Connor Lotzenheiser. Pass off the back of Jalen Mall, playing defense when he didn't. Oh, nice bounce pass. And then the extra feed to Brandon Johnson. This team is starting to feel it. A lot of new parts coming together. How about Brandon Johnson from Northside High School? Longtime St. Francis coach Gary Andrews, now the coach at Northside. Excited to see his team play this year. Always known for forcing turnovers and coming up with steals. His teams play good defense. Joyner, putback, no good. Putback is good. Joyner having a big second half here. He's now got 17 points, 11 here in the second. Big man West Davenport going to clean up the floor. Check it out. Cougs got a new mop thing down there. It's got a cougar head on it. Doing some upgrades here at the hut. Still waiting for that new possession arrow thing, though. That I know Coach took a look at that when we were in, where were we? South Dakota, I think, practicing last year before a national tourney. I got to remind him about that one. It's a real nice possession arrow. You can see it from both sides of the floor. Johnson, crossover, swatted by Joyner. Yeah, foul as he hit him in the head. Can't hit him in the head. Johnson's, yeah, that's right. Johnson's heading to the free throw line. Brandon was 1 of 2 the first time at the charity stripe. That's the 8th team foul for UMD, 7 for the Cougs. That one's gonna bank in for Johnson. Take it any way you can get it for Brandon. Second one's good as well. Brandon now has 7 points in the game, 5 in the second half. Jalen Paul in the lane. Drew contact as Hollowell comes up with the rebound. Now it's Mall off glass. Beautiful strong take by the freshman Jalen Mall. Jalen's first 2 points of the game. You're going to see a lot of that from Jalen. He's very explosive on the floor. You can see he can finish by the cup as well. Cougs are young, but very talented and athletic. Just stayed a couple off seasons in the weight room with Coach Lacrosse and Coach Cummings. Blocking foul going to be called on Compton, his third. At the free throw line is 11. Kegley knocks it down. Kegley now has 16 points, 1 point behind Joyner for a team high. Of course, the game high is going to Lotzenheiser with 20. Second one is no good, rebounded by Hollowell. Ball on his getty up. Easily gets past Kegley. Stolen by Sellers. Told you about Sellers, but he cannot finish there, and the putback is no good. If Joyner hit all of his putbacks, he'd probably have 30. Ball working against Paul. Matthews, spin move in the paint, kicks out to Johnson. 14-point advantage with 2:10 left to play for St. Francis. Compton off glass, no good. Foul's going to go against Lotzenheiser. No, it's not. Missed that one. Inbounds pass goes to Maul. Jalen's pass a little bit, or shot's a little strong. Joyner with the rebound. Mafian goes up top. No look feed is stolen by Matthews. Matthews is having none of that as he goes straight to the cup and finishes for Jordan Matthews. Matthews now has 10 points here in the second half, 17 in the game, second best for St. Francis. Matthews playing like a man down there on the floor. A lot of man moves in this game for Jordan Matthews. Kegley, scoop shot, good off glass. For Kegley, that's his 7th point in the second half. He now has 18. .104 left to play. Jalen Maul now with his 2nd bucket. A sign of things to come for Jalen Maul and the Cougs. Joyner down low, looking for the reverse lay-in. Foul going to be called against Matthews. So Mafian Joyner to shoot 2. Joyner with 17 points. Make it 18 now for Joyner. Conlon Martin, good bounce pass. We got 35 seconds. Cougs gonna improve their record to 2-1 on the season, up 79-64. Connor Lotzenheiser, the game's leading scorer with 20 points. So stick around. Right at the conclusion of this game, I will head down for some interviews with Coach Lacrosse and Connor Lotzenheiser. .4 seconds left, so that will do it, folks. St. Francis going to win this game 79-64 over the Wolverines, except for we got some free throws to shoot first. probably be about a 16-point victory. We'll see how Hunter Hollowell does from the free throw line. Lotzenheiser, 7 of 9, 3 of 3, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds. 4 rebounds, 2 assists. The Cougs win it, 81-64. Check one. All right, congratulations, Coach Lacrosse, winning the home opener 81-64. A lot of new parts on the floor. You can see as the game went on, the guys are starting to find each other a little bit better on the floor. And a big victory here at home.
Yeah, I mean, we'll always take those. I thought, we kind of wore them down there late in the or kind of midway through the second half, and that's what we talked about at halftime is like we're not just going to come out and just blow the doors off of it. It's going to be a grind, and we got to continue to get them back on their heels. And I thought the guys did a nice job. We had to, we had a couple guys in foul trouble, so we went a little bit smaller, and I thought we spaced the floor and got some movement there. And Brandon got his first action. I thought he did a nice job. I think he had 4 rebounds in the first half. Provided us a little bit of a spark.
Connor Lotzenheiser showed up big for you. Jordan Matthews also had a big second half. Some of these older guys, juniors, looked like they really stepped up and took charge in the second half.
Yeah, I thought Connor really bounced back and played well. We talked about just making the right read and trying to get into the paint and what we call the attack zone. And I thought he did a nice job of getting there and not just trying to finish every time, but finding open guys on the perimeter. So he did a nice job.
A lot of athleticism with these freshmen. Jalen Mall to Brandon Johnson for his first buck in the first half was real nice. And you saw it from Jeffrey Reynolds, too. Just young, but a lot of athleticism with these young guys.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you can just see, their wheels are spinning, It's just it's going to be a process for us. But we just got to keep getting better every day and trying to improve on, from one day to the next.
Congratulations, Coach. Grab Connor Lotzenheiser real quick. All right, down here with the junior Connor Lotzenheiser. Great home opener here for the Cougs. It looks like you and the veterans really took over in the second half to kind of stretch this lead and secure the victory for St. Francis. How do you feel about today's game?
I think it was good. We kind of struggled and wanted to do better than what we did in the first half. We started out really hot, which that really made me happy. But we just got to continue that quick start and then don't let up and just continue to fight the whole game.
Really young team this year, obviously losing a lot of key veterans last year with Evan Henry and Bryce Linup. How do you feel about this year's squad? Is it taking a while to gel together? Just in this game, it seemed like the continuity was much better in the second half as the game progressed.
Yeah, we're going to every team's going to have that with a bunch of new guys coming in. And we just got to continue every day to come together as a team and never let up, I guess.
The team shot 50% from the field, over 40% from beyond the arc. What do you think the strengths are of this year's team?
I think just working in the post. It's not like we have Bryce Linehoven in there anymore, but we still got to work it in there, drive, kick, and just getting in that paint area. That's our biggest key, kicking out to our shooters.
Congratulations, Connor. 2-1 now in the season. So that was Connor Lotzenheiser. Once again, the Cougs winning it 81-64. St. Francis as a team shooting 48% from the field, 50% from beyond the arc on 6 of 12 shooting, thanks in part to Connor and Hunter Hollowell. 5 of 8 from the free throw line. UMD was 44% from the field, 4 of 12 from beyond the arc, and 5 of 10 from the free throw line. Leading scorers for UMD was Cody Kegley and Mafian Joyner with 18 points apiece. Connor Lotzenheiser, the game's leading scorer, with 20 points. Hunter Hollowell had 14, and 17 points from Jordan Matthews. So an excellent game here, the home opener for St. Francis. Once again, folks, the Cougs are going to be on the road here for the next couple games at Ohio Christian on Thursday, and then at Indiana Tech on, Saturday, then at West Virginia Tech on the 13th. We'll be back home next Friday against number 2 IU East, and on Saturday against Lincoln out of Illinois. Tomorrow you can tune in 3 p.m. Lady Cougars going to take on Cornerstone, 3 p.m. tip-off, and the semifinal round of the Crossroads League tournament. It will be Indiana Wesleyan coming to the Hut to take on Coach Scott Haddock's and the Crossroads League co-champion Lady Cougars. And those two teams split in the regular season, so it is going to be a battle here at the Hut. You want to get here to fill this place to cheer on the Lady Cougs, 7 p.m. start time. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jeff Mahoney. We had Lucy Wainwright on camera. Once again, the Cougs winning it here at the Hut, 81-64. Thanks again for joining us.
Restriction training is a new treatment technique we're using at Parkview Sports Medicine that helps us stay on the cutting edge. This type of training is not only new to Parkview Sports Medicine, but in physical therapy as a whole. And it's really gaining popularity because it solves one of the fundamental problems that we see in therapy. We have a lot of patients who we can't put a lot of stress through their injured tissue, but we still want them to get stronger and still want them to gain muscle size. Blood flow restriction training uses a specialized piece of equipment, a blood flow restriction cuff that fits around the upper portion of an arm or a leg. Doing that, then it partially restricts, but not totally occludes the blood flow going to the limb.
I thought it was gonna hurt, and it does kind of feel weird, but doesn't hurt or anything. I just didn't really know what to expect. Well, you put it on and then you have to lay down and let it calibrate, and it like gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And then after that, get in your position to do your workout, and then press the inflate button and it'll squeeze your leg or your arm.
What the research is telling us about training with blood flow restriction is that the buildup of the lactic acid and the metabolic stress that we're putting on these tissues helps you gain strength and muscle size, similar to that of training at high intensity.
Compared to like a normal workout, the burn comes like within the third rep, and then the 30-second break in between, there's no like recovery. I can see the difference and feel the difference. It feels a lot more effective than just doing normal exercises.
Blood flow restriction training is the perfect tool to solve that fundamental problem. But this is something that you don't see everywhere, and you don't see very many places in Indiana at all.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.